Did he kill her? Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. We are starting the next chapter of the Finality chapters today. Chapter 33 after like the big reveal at the end of chapter 32. Like Mistlin was definitely not on my bingo card for this game and for these chapters. And to my surprise, she's also here. You know, that's what I never expected at all. She gave herself the name Shariak though, which is very, very interesting. I'm curious to find out more about this character because they made such a mystery about like hair and how she like came up with this whole dream. So I guess that's just her. Isn't Mistlin, like she came, I think, with the patch of like Kira and stuff like that. And I always thought that like Kira was way later, but I guess that was just my perspective, that these characters were like way later, you know, after like actually part 1 finished. I thought they were like in the in-between parts before the sailor chapters start or something like that. I don't know, I was very surprised to see her and even Prometheus like this early. Yeah, it's really a surprise. Like the flower kind of reminded me a little bit of like Elysia, maybe the outfit. I can't really remember anymore like how Elysia was dressed as the Herrscher of Origin, but when I look at her I kind of get like a little bit of a vibe of like Herrscher of Origin maybe, and also like Cecilia Shariak, of course, right, because she's naming herself Shariak. So yeah, I would say without further ado we are heading right into this chapter and we will see what all of this is about. And yeah, I'm very curious. Chapter 33, In the Name of the Truth. What's she here? Okay, anyways, I'm not asking questions because this chapter will never start if I start asking questions. Okay, here we go. What is this? What's an head? Oh. I messed up. Oh, I have Herrscher of Reason now. That is... Wait, did Bronya get her powers? Or maybe just the moment we got outside the Sea of Quanta we got our full powers back. And that's why I'm running around with like Herrscher of Reason. All of a sudden. Because I remember when we came back she was not Herrscher of Reason. Okay. But Hera was with Prometheus, but doesn't that mean Prometheus is supposed to be here as well? Oh, I have to ascend. Ascend? Okay. I'm so curious about all of this. Guys, please tell me it's like so hot at your places as well. I mean, I feel like most of the people who watch these videos are like repair baseball hurdle, are like more in the US maybe. I don't even know, I haven't even checked, but I feel like most of the people are like, you know, from the US. And I'm wondering if it's like as warm there. I mean, at some places it probably is like very warm, I can imagine. I have never been to America, guys. It was never a country that I was really interested about, to be honest. But I feel like LA is always warm, right? Or like Vegas. Wait, what is that? I hope they can help everyone. Anyways, let's stop the weird chit-chat that I'm trying to do. And let's get going. I feel like I'm rarely talking about anything else in this video, but it's important to focus on the game when you're playing the game, right? And I don't really want to miss anything. Oh god. Go away. I fell down. I fell down even more. I'm so bad. I also feel like I'm always complaining when it gets warmer, but it's like so warm that I can't stand it. it's like hard to get ready because you're sweating, or at least I'm sweating. I don't know how people live when they don't sweat. It must be so nice. And I'm very like sensitive to the heat. I'm always like tired, and I have sun allergy a little bit if I'm like in the sun for too long. Can I now assassinate this one? Oh, no. Let's go. Wait, what do you mean it didn't work? It's because I was complaining about the weather. Like the thing that I'm like disliking the most with the weather, like the warm weather, is like it's very humid here, and I don't like that because it feels like way warmer. Oh, can I can actually repair stuff here. I feel like the heat is messing with my brain. I feel like I can't talk today. Okay. Let's focus and find the energy fluctuations. I'm still so shocked that like Mistlin is here. And like why she's here. Oh, wrong direction. Like how did she end up being here? How did Kevin find someone who is naming themselves Shariak? Okay, I can't repair this one. There is a door. Where are we going? What the hell? I feel like I am just... What is that? I feel like that's a strong enemy. We're skipping it for now. Maybe I should run around Central Region. Oh, the energy fluctuations. I forgot. I haven't played in like... I haven't played last week, but you guys saw a part because I splitted the one I did before into 2 parts. That's why you guys saw that. But I didn't play, and I forgot that like Fuhua is clashing with Kevin. Right? And now we are here. Wait, wasn't this the part where we actually came back from the bubble universe? It is, right? Okay, indirect. Ooh, where to go? The aftershock of the battle. Where is Fuhua though? I'm sorry, I forgot about that. There she is. Her voice felt like a hammer, knocking everyone into silence. Time seemed to freeze for a few seconds before someone spoke up. Kiana, can you feel it? What, Fuhua? Unique to practices of Edge of Tai Xuan. Okay. That's why Sushang is familiar with it. Wait, are her hands? Did her outfit change? Why is this gray? Is it always this color? Why do I feel like Kiana looks different? Is deep in a bitter struggle. I mean, she's fighting Kevin. To help or to not help? I don't really know his Senti. But because she thinks we're already too late, true. Isn't in a good situation, but Kevin... I mean, of course she's not in a good situation. She's fighting against Kevin, right? To fight for his ambition. I mean, of course, that is his plan. I mean, of course Kevin is fighting for his plans, right? That is his big plan, like giving his life to finish up Project Stigma, right? So why would he not fight for that? That is what he believes in. That is what he believes is the final straw for humanity, the only thing that can keep humanity alive in some kind of way, right? So I can feel like why, I understand why he's doing all of this. In some kind of way, it's still not right, but we can't we can't judge too hard because, like, I feel like it's so hard to put ourselves in the shoes of a long life being, you know? I don't know. I mean, he has a chance to change something, right? And that's what he's, like, very ambitiously trying to do over so many years. And I understand why Kevin had to, like, cut off basically his humanity side to do that, to become the villain, you know? If there's something that Fuhua needs to fight for, we're a part of it too. Procrastinating is a bad habit. But we all love it. Should we discuss who goes and who stays first? The question is, why stay? To fight off smaller things? Or wed? So one group is dealing probably with, like, Mistle, right? And the whole Project Stigma itself, and New Atra, like she said, and the other group is, like, facing off Kevin. Zela. I'm sad that we didn't give attention to, like, Bronya's and Sayla's reunion. I have a good relationship with the people of New Atra. Really, you just talk to one person? Okay. Okay. Makes me a signal, huh? That is cute. Yeah. Zele is important, man. At least to me. They were able to exchange thoughts with just a glance. I don't know why, but I love, like, characters who have, like, two sides inside of them. I really, like, connect with these characters oftentimes. I mean, they have, like, the bad sides in them, you know, but I feel like it's more about, like, different parts of your personality. You can't be solely good. We talked about this before, right? Or maybe I was talking about it in Honkai Star Rail. I don't know anymore. There are multiple grey serpents that are highly dangerous. Okay. That sounds bad. She had to part with her sister again just after they were reunited. But she had no regrets, such was the life of a Valkyrie. I mean, they didn't really have time to have a proper reunion, right? Because, like, instantly Fuhua was already fighting Kevin when we came back. The most important thing now is to find a way to reach and help Fuhua through. I mean, like, Fuhua is crazy for, like, instantly stepping up and, like, going to Kevin and, like, fighting Kevin. I think she's actually crazy for that. I mean, in a good way, right? Because Fuhua is always, like, up front. She's always there when the world needs her. I said this many times before, like, Fuhua is such a support character. It's crazy. I mean, we have more support characters like Bronya and stuff in the story, right? But she's, like, supposed to be with the other two, like, more of a mainish character. Yo, Fuhua. I thought that was Fuhua. Can you find a path to avoid that attack? How do you avoid this kind of attack? Did we already check who is staying behind? So Zela is staying behind and the rest is just going? We didn't see Durandal in the trailer though, right? Same for, like, Zela and Zushang. Okay. What are we doing?
少なくとも分かってる事実がある。私たちがいる固有世界は
Or something else has made this space far more dangerous than Earth.
では、比較的安全な方向はありますか?
Like the Harsha Finality, no one answered this, but maybe it's a spoiler. But the Harsha Finality was fought on the moon before, right? So why though? To prevent Earth from going extinct? Or what? Would fighting the Harsha Finality, or like the final Harsha, would it be like too big to do on their own planet? Maybe we should just go on. I don't really know what the power of Finality even does, right?
あるよ。でも目立ちすぎて。
I never really thought about like what are the powers of origin and finality.
怪しいですか? うん。私たちのすぐ近くにある。もっと正確に言うと、このエレベーターの下の通路なんだけど。
Okay.
私たちを乗せた台のこと？私の記憶が正しければ。
Can only go up and down a short distance if I'm not mistaken. Its structure clearly allows it to go all the way down. I mean, Kevin and Fuhua had like a way down, right? Okay. It's obviously a trap. Why would it be a trap? Fuhua is already down there.
このエレベーターのプログラムをハッキングしてみます。作業が終わるまで
Without a hacker, we would be lost so many times in this game.
探してみてください。
Searching for other potential rules. わかった。Okay. もう一度試してみたけど、やっぱりこの周りの空間はめちゃくちゃだ。 Nearby spaces, of course,
ただ待ってるだけっていうのも嫌だし、他の人たちの状況を見てみようかな。
Okay, then let's talk to the others. You guys good?
Kiana に聞いたんですが。
Well. Oh yeah, the dragon is back, so. That's not true, I summoned it. But I guess it was because I wasn't really in the story sequence, right? So they didn't get their full powers back. Oh, in the story sequence, Bronya looked like the previous battlesuit and not the Hash of Reason. I thought as soon as I had left the base that like I am in the story, but I wasn't. That's why I had Hash of Reason. Wouldn't that consume too much of her power? Why do I feel like her battlesuit looks different than before? I don't know. I can't remember these gray thingies, like gloves. Maybe it's just me. We don't know Fuhua's exact location. True. Makes sense. Okay.
月での最初の着地点にはかなりの違いがあるよね。例えばキアナちゃん、ブローニャちゃん、それから私自身はかけらかした世界の泡の中で目覚めた。
I thought that's because you were Hershers and you were supposed to be imprisoned there.
そして私とスショウさん、デュランダルさんは
That's because you're stigma awakened. I thought we had already cleared that up.
フーちゃんたちも同じです。つまり委員長は
Well, like Hash of Sentience was in the prison bubble universe as well, right? Sea of Quanta stuff. But Fuhua, we don't really know, right? Because Fuhua is usually the one who has like sent this Herrscher core. Why was she not inside? Maybe she went looking for Kevin. That still doesn't answer where she came from. If we don't press Kevin, we may never learn the truth about Honkai. Okay, I'm too strict with the story right now, but you don't have to press him to know anything about Honkai. Maybe just ask him. before
ちゃんの言う
you
通り
like punch his face. I don't know, I feel like sometimes they're just, but I mean, Fuhua had already started fighting Kevin, so it doesn't matter. We can not go in and try to talk to Kevin, right? But if Fuhua wouldn't be fighting Kevin already, I would say just go and ask him before we punch each other. But maybe that's just a Kaslana thing.
深すぎ
And
る
I
よ
mean, Kevin isn't even a real Kaslana, right? He just made the name up, I think.
ここで誰かに落とされたらきっとあの時と同じ
What happened to
もう考え
Susha?
ないでおこうデュランデルそっちに何か新しい発見はある
いえですが気になることが一
What
つ
are
あ
we
ります
doing, guys?
もしエレ
We
ベー
need
ター
a
自体
plan.
が下へとつながっているならどうして今まで2つの層の間でしか移動できなかったのでしょう
Maybe something is blocking it?
何らかの力に塞がれていたか起動方法が見つかっていなかったという可能性が考えられますが
Someone did it on
それより
purpose.
一理あるね避難所もここからそう離れてないしでも何度も調べたけど、そういう操作ができるような機能は見つからなかったんだよね
Durandal noticed Kiana staring at her.
昔はずっとデュランダルのことをパワー型だと思ってたけど
You're a
一緒に行
master
動
of
してみて
all trades
あんたは何で
and
もできるし
knowledgeable in everything.
いろいろ知ってるって気づいたよ
I didn't expect that because I feel like the first time we encountered Durandal was when she tried to get Kiana. I don't know how far back that actually was. Was that before Durandal was fighting? It was after Himeko, wasn't it that? After Himeko? Or no, was it after the Arc incident, Arc City, right? I feel like with like the weird tree-ish thing that she summoned and caught Kiana and stuff like that, right? That was when we first encountered her in some kind of way. And I feel like she made such a change as well as a character. She's feeling more heartwarming right now.
いいえこれは大して役に立たない推測に過ぎませんし
And
問題
she's
を
like
解決
so
できるわけ
cute
ではありませ
to
んから
like Kiana after knowing the truth about Kiana, right? She's like really an older sister and she accepts like the clone, you know? She accepts her really nicely and is caring for her, even though I feel like Kiana doesn't even know at this point,
理
right?
屈を並べるよりも私たちに必要なのは問題を解決する力ですキアナさんとブローニャさんが今しているように
そうかなそう言われるとなんだか恥ずかしいな
I like this side of Durandal, you know? She was always like this very stiff, hard training and stuff like that, you know, being the best and everything. And I love like the knowledge that she has about like the whole Kiana situation is making her like more of a human in the eyes of the player.
お互い頑張りましょう
Mm.
エレベーターの音だブローニャ成功したのかな
Oh, did she do it? Okay. I'm glad I don't have to run around. Oh, Bronya the hacker. Oh, it's moving, maybe.
ブローニャどうだったええ時間がかかりましたが結果は悪くありませんでした
We did it.
でもハッキングが成功した瞬間自分のものではない力を感じたんです
Bronya felt a power that
それ
doesn't
は
belong to
エレベーターの
herself.
コントロールプログラムのあらゆる面に存在していましたこのエレベーターは紛れもなく罠です
Okay.
でも私たちに他の選択肢はないのよね
We don't. Let's go.
はい
Me. Okay, let's just head right in.
デュランダルあんたはどう思う
相手が私たちを招くというのならその真意を確かめてもいいんじゃないでしょうか
I mean, we don't have a choice. Doesn't matter if it's a trap or not, right? We just have to go.
やっぱり策を講じるよりもあんたは担当不快の方を選ぶんだね
エレベーターに止められるくらいならケビンに直接会う資格はない
That's our
相手
opponent's
は
math. Yeah.
私たちにそう伝えたかったのかもしれません。
And we can't be scared of traps because, like, what else are we supposed to do, right? We have to face him. We have to stop Project Stigma, so
わかった。じゃあ早く出発しよう。ゼーレ。
we are actually doing this.
任せて。
Oh, she's staying here alone? That is crazy. Okay, talk to Bronya. Where is Bronya? That is very slow.
もう来たんですか。どうしたの？下がり始めてからエレベーターは何らかの力に押され、プログラムによるコントロールから抜け出し始めています。
Okay.
なるほど。周りの空間が歪み始めてるんだ。やっぱり最深部に着くまで他の試練に向き合わないといけないんだね。
There will be other
まあ
tests
そんなに緊張
before.
しないで。
Wait.
すでにこれ来たればこれを休んずるべし。臨機応変に動こうよ。
I mean,
ア
we
ンジェ
should
ルよ
at
り有無
least
が
have
安し
some sort of plan.
この小さなエレベーターとやらに私たち5人を閉じ込めるなんて不可能だしね。
We have 5 people against
Such
Kevin,
a-
or maybe 6.
油断は禁物です。
Sure. Well, the battlesuit is actually like, I would say grayish, blackish, right? That is Fuhua. She suddenly remembered the phrase.
自分にできることを知りたいです。
Ah, baby Fuhua.
あんたは一生分の時間で
あー
それを考えられるから焦る必要は
Sorry.
ないの。
That is crazy. If divided by its long life, it clearly came from a faraway beginning. A time when the suffering had come before the good had begun.
不はもういいんだ。
Oh god, I'm having chills. Yo, she has that sword. The shot is giving me chills, man. What the hell? Isn't it crazy that I'm finally at this part?
君の意志は理解した。
I've tasted your willpower.
それはどうでしょう。
She could barely hold her sword in her hand. The pain from the reaction was eating away at her exhausted body along her nerves. Oh god. Don't tell me she's dying. She's not dying, right? Less than 3 minutes. That was how long Garuda could last against the diabolical Garuda. But she managed to hold her sword in her hand.
戦闘はまだ終わっていません。
Oh, she's very determined. Like Garuda, I always think of like Final Fantasy.
君と死闘を繰り広げるつもりはない。
Okay, interesting, because I thought Kevin might just fight anyone until they are dead, you know, because at this point, what's the point in sparing them? But that shows that he still has some humanity left inside of him, right? At least for like one of his lifelong companions. You can't really say that, right? But you know what I mean. Previous comrades.
周りを見てみるといい。
The instant she shifted the focus from the battle, she understood what he meant. Several corporal divine keys had appeared from nowhere on the empty ramp. Oh, true, there is like Teresa's, right? Like the Judah cross thingy. I am bad with names, guys. I don't know, these two look very much alike.
困惑する必要はない。それらは最初からここにある。
They were always here.
僕たちの母姫として時間の中に凝縮されてい
Frozen
るん
in
だ。
time. Oh, that's her sword. Right there. That is the sword that... I forgot the name, guys, but I kind of know. We had like a side stuff where I think we found out the origin of this sword, right?
不はスーと僕は今まで君に終焉に
So, and
関
I
する一部の
partially
真相を
kept the
隠してい
truth
た。
about finality from you. Okay,
休
tell
眠
me.
装置に入る君に終焉があらゆるものを壊したと教えただろ
Okay.
僕たちは避難所から出発し、
And we'd leave the
新たな文明を
sanctuary to
作ると。
build a new civilization.
同時に君が約5000年前に目覚めた時に、新たな人類の文明はすでに芽吹いているとも教えた。
And when you woke up 5,000, like she is alive for like 5,000 years. Man.
しかしあれは詭弁に過ぎなかった。自分自身を慰めるための嘘でしかなかったんだ。
And when you woke, we told you a new civilization had sprouted. But that was merely sophistry and self-deception. Why? There is civilization. Or not? What?
人類の発芽は最初から一度だけ。
There has only been one budding of humanity.
二つの世代の違いは起点が始まった後の変化にしかない。
The difference between these two eras. Why did the music stop? The difference between these two eras only lies in the changes after the start. The changes after the start. This has something to do with like Elysia, right? Elysia origin, the beginning. She, as the Herrscher of Origin, made it possible that some things changed, right? The changes after the start. So when civilization started again, there were changes, like besides what? Did Fuhua not know? I think, wait, I forgot. Who were the last people who were seeing Elysia? I think she was not part of it, right? She doesn't know that Elysia was the Herrscher of Origin, right? Her heart pounded. She was aware she did not know the whole truth, but even so, she had never envisioned this possibility, the worst possibility. Wait, I don't think I get it. Why is this worse? I thought it was good that Elysia changed something as the Herrscher of Origin, like cut the connection to the Honkai to be able to control Herrscher, stuff like that. What?
起点それって私たちの5万年前のことでしょうか？
The start, which is 50,000 years ago for us.
あ、
What? Is he trying to be Otto? I don't get it.
僕たちの5万年前とライデン・メイたちの5万年前、人類の祖先たちは完全に同じ一組の存在だ。
What? 50,000 years before us and 50,000 years before Raid and May, humans descended from the same group of ancestors. I always wondered how, like, humans came to be again. I thought the Herrscher of Finality just kills everything. But how does the planet regain power? Wait, or is he telling me that we are already a fake planet? I don't get it. What is happening?
もちろん僕たち自身は対象外だが、
Except for ourselves? Wait, what? Am I dumb? Before us and 50,000 years before Ryan and May, humans descended from the same group of ancestors. Is this some experiment thingy? Or what? Why is she getting it, but I don't get it? What does that mean except for us? Does it mean you have been alive for longer than 50,000 years? I don't get it. She froze for a long time before grasping what that meant. I don't know what that means. Am I supposed to know what that means? I'm confused. Like, what? So 100,000 years ago it started? Or what? Before us, humans descended from the same group of ancestors, except ourselves. We said Finality would destroy everything and we'd leave the sanctuary to build a new civilization. That much is true. I don't know. He meant the history of Earth, the civilization was but a 50,000-year cycle. But how is that possible? Is that why I thought previous era and current era just share the same, like, herrschers because of what Elysia did. But you're telling me now that 100,000 years ago they started a cycle? This is crazy. Like, what is I'm so in shock in some kind of way and so confused. Like, what? And you're revealing this now? But who did that and how does it work? That is why Earth is always coming back in some kind of way, right? So they just have to put themselves in the cryopods and wait for the cycle to start anew. I feel like I'm playing Amphorias all over again. In fact, pioneers and stigmata were the outliers brought into this era by the Great Hibernation. What? The errors they experienced were widely different only due to the changes in initial conditions and random processes.
なるほど。それが終焉の力なんですね。
So 100,000 years ago, the first Herrscher of Finality ascended from who knows where, right? But how does this make sense for Honkai? Like, what? Probably because Honkai wants to defeat humanity. That's why the Herrscher of Finality puts the world, or like the world where the humans are, into this loop, right? Because they want to finally... But why are they the exception? If Honkai really wants to put an end to this, then just don't repeat the cycle, right? What gain does Finality have? Are they just trying to like kill everyone and they were just losing some because they were in the cryopods? And that's why Finality couldn't reach them at some point? I don't get the meaning or like the purpose for like the Honkai. What does this do for the Honkai? But that is crazy. So that is the power of Finality. I was just talking about this, right? We don't really know what the power of Finality is, but the power of Finality is ending and starting again. Erasing civilizations, resetting everything to the start. But why would you reset it, though? Finality is time. Well, I mean, time can also move like forward and backwards, right? It will not do you, me, or anyone else any good. So is that why Kevin wants to get the authority? Sorry for talking so much, but I could just play the game, right? And it will probably like answer all of my questions, but I like doing this. So I feel like Kevin is doing this to get the authority of Finality to end the cycles, right? So that this will not happen anymore, right?
Kevin, 私は簡単には引かないと。
Didn't Dr. May in the last part say something like that as well? Maybe that is why she said humanity is not important anymore, because if Kevin ends this, then there will be no tomorrow, right? Oh, I think Mistlin said that. That like it would be murder to wake them up from the dream. So instead of like actually like let people experience like extinction, we're just faking a world for them. So the Honkai can't repeat the cycles anymore. What happened to Teresa, actually? I remember that, but what happened to her? Oh. She will live freely in a newborn world like all of you. Live freely is crazy. Like, do people actually die then in the dream world? I have too many questions. You're powerless, of course. Yo, Kevin, shut up. So am I. This is a crazy conversation, though. Like, man. Fuhua was silent, like the music. But her pale face wore a small smile. Oh, I'm having chills.
私の力で この時代の人々が自分の信念を貫くために何をするかをあなたに見せましょう。
But why did Kevin say like everyone is just the same except for them? Because they know the truth? That's why they are different?
実現しがたい信念のために
I believe
そこ
that's
までする
difficult
価
to
値はない。
realize isn't worth holding on to. Who says that? Kevin, you don't know anything about these types of stories. There is always hope for us.
それに彼らの行く先も決して明るいものではない。
Ah, the music.
ケビン、私にとっては誰だって同じです。
Mm.
行く先などはっきりと見えません。
Isn't it crazy, crazy that Fuhua, although she is like Kevin from the previous era, she is so eager to help this era out because she was actually like living in it. She was actually like witnessing humanity in this era, and now she's like trying to defend it, right? Where did we hear this song for the first time? It gives me the chills. Like Honkai Impact has a really good music.
5万年前の私たちだって見た目しかない力と実現しがたい信念だけで文明の火種を今につなげたでしょ。
Man, Fuhua.
私たちができたなら私たちが守った彼らだってできるはずです。しかも私
不破、口で言っただけでは
They are
証拠にならな
not
い。
Kevin. Bro, Kevin, he's so fixated on his plan. It's like the situation makes me sad because I know like Fuhua has experienced this world, this era so differently from Kevin, right? Because like Kevin just recently came back in some kind of way, right? From the Sea of Quanta and stuff like that. But he's so fixated, he doesn't know the same things that Fuhua knows, right? He hasn't seen what she has seen. So she has a lot more faith in our girls and what they can achieve, right? And Kevin is just at a point where he just wants to end this like endless suffering after all the things, all the really terrible things that have happened in... I feel like in the previous era it was like even crazier to some extent than it is in the current era, except for like second eruption stuff, and I feel like that was terrible as well. But I feel like most of the times we had like a strength and we just, I don't know, we just overcame like things maybe thanks to Ligia easier in the, I mean, you know what I mean, right? Not easy, but you know. And I feel like Kevin is just such a tragic hero that just can't get over the fact that so many of his beloved people had to suffer from all of this, you know?
分かってます。 だからこそケビン、私の戦友。
Guys, this makes me sad. What is happening?
だからこそこの負荷はあなたの敵になります。
Man, Fuhua. He saw Teresa's spirit in Fuhua's eyes. It was what no amount of setback or suffering could keep down. It was the hope for a better future and the resolve to sacrifice for a cause.
わかった。それが君の選択なら来るといい。
Like even... this makes me really sad. Like even the fight against like the main villain, you know, right now is just so emotional, right? Because I don't really see him as one.
不可。
Ah, this is sad. Okay. We have to fight, I guess. He had seen the Sword of Worth before in a certain harmonica-playing boy. With each stab, Fuhua's body slowed. With each swing, Fuhua's wounds worsened. Oh god, is she dying? Garuda's restorative properties barely made a difference. I don't even see anything anymore. But she did not stop. Like a moth after a flame. I mean, she survives, right? She has more battle suits in the future.
この一戦が君の行き止まりになるようなことはしない。
Oh. Not fully wanting to, he shot down the moth.
不可。
I don't feel good anymore. Like, look at his face. Doesn't he look, his expression is like so soft in some kind of way, like his face features. That's a beautiful shot, by the way. This chapter is like insane. There was no answer. Did he kill her? Having made it across 50,000 years, she leaned against the broken wall quietly, sword in hand.
約束しよう。君は
Did he kill
後
her?
悔のない世界にいることになると。
A world without Honkai. Yeah, a world without a life anyways, because everyone's going to be dead. You killed her.
そして君が信じた者たちも最善の結末を手
And
にする。
those you believe in will receive the best ending possible. Kevin!
その
This
時は
is...
君の手で過ぎ去った僕たちの時代にふさわしい墓石を選んでくれ。
A tombstone of our era will be erected by your hands. How? She's actually dead, right? I mean, can he even kill her? Like, how does this work? I mean, he will just, like, project her in the dream, I guess? But how is she supposed to remember in, like, the dream world what happened? Oh! Is that Senti? The sound of footsteps came from the distance, interrupting his musing. It was someone who should not have appeared here, according to Project Sigma. It's Senti, right?
君ならこの件に触れないと思っていたんだが。
Maybe it's not Senti.
それはどうかしら。
Wait, who is that?
だって勇敢な少女を嫌う人はいないでしょ。
Wait, who is that? That's not Mistlin. Mistlin had a different voice. Who is that? What the hell? That was crazy. Kevin always has me in tears. The heroines of this era find themselves in another Maya as they expected. Are we introducing a new character, like a next new character that I didn't expect? And even Li Sushang, who left home for adventure at a young age, could not help but lament the current situation. Was that Sushang talking?
百聞は一見にしかずって言うけど。
No, right? Oh. We can't hear the other lines anymore.
この虚数空間とやらには奇怪なことが数えきれないくらいあるんだね。
It's one strange thing after another.
いきなり湧き上がってくる黒い炎。着地できないエレベーターと急に変化する空間。
Wait, was she talking? No, the voice was different, right?
あんたたちが意味恐れるあのケビンにここまでの力があるとは。
He probably didn't
お祖師
waste a
様が
day in
5000年も修行し
50,000
たなら
years.
ケビンは5万
Maybe.
年間も
I
ずっ
don't
と
really
励んで
know.
いたんだね。すべてがケビンによるものだ
Oh,
とは
we
思
are
え
just
ない
back.
が。
Who was that other voice?
少なくともヨルムンガンドにいた頃に私が見た聞いたケビンはこういう空の
The
列
Kevin
車を超
I
えるよう
saw
な
didn't
力を
display
見せ
the
たことはな
ability
か
to
った。
overcome the Hash of the Void. He didn't display it, doesn't mean he doesn't have it.
メイ、それは違う
He
よ。
was undefeatable.
私が最近読んだ推理小説にはこういう一文があったんだ。それがいかに奇妙なことであっても、すべての不可能を消去して最後に残ったものこそが真実
When you
なの
have
だ。
eliminated all which is impossible, then whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. I mean,
スショウさん、その言
oh,
葉
we
は
changed battle
証
suits.
拠がまだ十分に揃っていない現状にはふさわしくありません。
Hmm.
そうなの？はいはい。重要なのは誰が私たちをここに閉じ込めたかじゃなくって、
After looking around, they were able to confirm one thing. While the elevator descended endlessly, space was rapidly rebuilding itself as Kiana and May had experienced in Mind Space. Okay. When the light returned, a corner of the extra dimension appeared before them, an eerie, foreboding labyrinth. That looks crazy. Like, is it a spoiler if I ask you to answer me when we are actually facing, or like in which chapter we are actually facing Kevin? Because now we are at 33, but like these chapters are going until 35? So are we like facing him like really now, or is it like chapter 34 and then 35 is just interlude stuff? That is a bad idea. That is a maze. We should never split up in a maze. Don't you watch horror movies? I mean, I don't like them. I'm scared. Yeah.
しかしキアナさんの言う通りです。ケビンの仕業かどうかわかりませんが、
She's number one
その
Kiana
目的は
fangirl now.
私たちの邪魔をすることです。
Yeah.
そして何度も私たちに選択肢を与えたのは、もしかしたらかっこ撃破という戦術的な意図を隠すためなのかもしれません。
そうね。絶対に必要という場面でな
Unless
けれ
it's
ば、
necessary, we should stick
私たちは
together.
一緒に行動するべ
Right.
きだと思うわ。
ええ、それなら完璧な戦力を保証するために、この虚数空間での戦闘は比較的戦法に向いている私とスショウさんが対応しましょう。
Okay. Yeah, let's just let the ones who aren't Herrschers fight the battles. Let's go.
3人はあうんの呼吸で連携が取れますから、本当の強敵と向き合うまで
I mean, makes sense. Why is she so kind? I like her voice.
世界の泡にある地球の中心を通り抜けることができる若トンネルを思い出してしまいますね。
Okay, Durandal gameplay, let's go.
でもその原理
The question is, where should we stop? Because sometimes I just go on and then I don't really have time to like end the part, and then I'm sitting here for like 3 hours. I mean, it's just because I'm talking so much, but... Oh, we have to fight. Oh, they look cool.
大丈夫、キアナ。楽勝だよ。
確かに強い敵ではありません。
Oh, Sushan gameplay.
即戦即決といきましょう。
They aren't that powerful. Have we played with Sushan before? I feel like I tried her battles too. No, we have seen that before, right? I mean, we had Durandal. We are trying to go through the maze, and I guess there will be another point where we can stop, right? I usually plan to stop a little bit earlier, like when we entered, but I cut it out just. Or I will cut it out. I'm just saying it now. That I will cut the part out where I tried to end the part, but then I decided not to end the part. And instead I just started playing again.
この四角たちは人の体を持ってたのに、倒されたら霧のように消えちゃった。
But it's just, I don't want to overwhelm myself with like information at some point. But I feel like it's kind of unfair to you guys, because you always have to like wait for it. Like, inseparable from them.
より多くの証拠が必要ですね。
Okay. But like, with these parts, it's always just a little bit hard to find a spot where to stop actually. Because there are so many conversations going on, and then you just think, okay, that's a good part to stop, like a good point, and then the next conversation just starts. But I also don't want it to be too short for you guys, even though my brain is already exploding. Pick up. Okay. What am I going to do with that? I can just pick up... Okay. Or can I place it here? No. Weird. I actually like Sushang's battle suit. Let's summon the big sword. I'm just checking the surroundings a little bit while I'm fighting, while I'm getting hit by the enemies. Because I'm wondering where I have to use the weird things that I got. The enemies have no name. Okay, it's dead. What are we doing with the cubes, though? Okay. Well, I mean, if they are connected with the space here.
彼らは確かに崩壊獣のように尽きることのない存在なのでしょう。
That's true, that's true.
聞いただけで疲れてきたよ。やっぱり早く出口を探そう。心を鞘にし、意見を培う。
Okay. Let's just summon the big sword again. But what to do next? What to do with the cubes, though? Is that a big elevator?
おかしいよね。だいぶ歩いてるのに、出口に関する
There's
手
still
がか
no
り
sign
が
of an
少しも見つからないなんて。
Who was that voice with Kevin? Like, there is so much stuff going on in my head whenever I play these, and I just like theorizing sometimes and just like think about things for myself, you know, but it's probably like annoying, right? Because the game is literally like telling me and I'm still sitting here and thinking about these like things.
まるであの人形たちの手で支配劇場に引きずり込まれたみたい。
私もオットー司教に連れられて共に支配劇場に入ったことがありますが。
Not sure if I remember that anymore.
ゲニウスの統計データによると、この迷宮は支配劇場ほどの規模ではないようです。
Feels more like
支
an
配劇
infinite
場という
cloister.
より、
Okay.
無限回廊の方が近いと思います。
無限回廊？アインシュタイン博士から第二次崩壊の戦いでシーリンは無限回廊という閉鎖空間を作り、キアナの両親を閉じ込めたそうです。
Yeah. But didn't we trap Siren in a dream with the 8th divine key? I forgot the name.
確かその時はあらゆるエネルギーを集中させ衝撃を与え、トンネル効果を用い攻撃を空間の外側ににじませ、無限
And
回廊を
forced
シーリン
Siren
か
to
ら引き剥
separate
がし
it
て
from her
解決したと
body.
か。
Bro, like second eruption was crazy.
暴力で窮地を切り抜ける。古の楽園にいたある英傑のことを思い出したわ。
Guess we're talking about Kalpas.
彼のおかげで、たとえデータ空間に閉じ込められたとしても、全力で空間自体を攻撃すれば、ほころびを作り出せることを知った。とは言っても、この迷宮が支配劇場、無限回廊、もしくは古の楽園のどれに似てるか、私たちはまだ知らないわね。
Or was it a creation of hair?
ええ、それにその3つとも
Or it's
全然
completely
違う可能
different
性
from
も
all
否めませ
three.
ん。
That's a possibility as well.
単純で感覚的な言い方をすると、ここは完成された構造というより、むしろ自然な存在のように感じるよ。例えば、ここの空間は本当に無限に伸びるみたいで、閉鎖的な感じがしないの。
There isn't really a sense of being closed off.
そうなると、今までブローニャたちが経験したことも合わせて考えると、自然
Might
で開放
grow
的な
on
空
its
間であるここ
own.
は、自発的に成長するのかもしれません。
つまりこの迷宮は私たちの足取りに合わせて新たな道を生成し続けてるかもしれないってことよね。
But if it grows while we are progressing, first of all, it's basically like Honkai, right? But if it's growing as we continue, how do we know that we will end up where we need to end up?
なるほど。なんだかブローニャちゃんと委員長が支配劇場で遭遇した状況に似てるわね。
しかしどうすればその推測を検証できるのでしょう。異なる地点で何度もデータをテストしたり比較する必要があるのでしょうか。
いいえ、必ず存在する抜け穴を見つけ出せばいいだけで
Just
す。
find the loophole. Okay. She pointed to as far as her eye could see.
前に進むたびに道が伸びるなら、立ち止まれば道は伸びません。
Okay.
もしブローニャたちが今いる位置から果てより遠い場所に移動したとすれば、
Makes
何が起こる
sense.
と思いますか？
でも私たちが前に進めば迷宮は
And it's up
分かった
to
よ。
Kiana.
あとの
Because
こと
she's the
は
Herrscher of the
キア
Void.
ナに
Or
頼むしかないんだね。
like, Kiana is more Herrschers, right? She has Herrscher of the Void and she also has Herrscher of Flame Scion. So she has two Herrscher cores, right?
はい。支配劇場にいた時、人形たちは階段を動かすことでブローニャと委員長を閉じ込めました。
Okay.
あの時は時間がかかりましたが、今回はキアナがいますから答えに直接触れられるかもしれません。
やってみるよ。
For Kiana, who had by now regained her authority, teleporting in flat space-time was easy. With a snap of her fingers, the black portal appeared before everyone's eyes. Okay, then let's enter. Okay, we just changed
私た
location.
ち元の場所に戻った私に問題があったのかもしれない。もう一度やってみる。
待って、キアナ。
What is happening?
盲目的にやり直すより、まずは原因の分析をしましょう。空間が開放的だ
You
と感
can
じ取れるな
sense
ら、
space is
次
open,
は
but
一歩
what
進
about
ん
the
で
space's
空間の
shape?
形を調べてみませんか？今は無限回廊の時とは状況が異なりますが、迷宮が人を迷わせる一番の原因はその形自体にあります。
確かにそうだね。今までの私たちは簡単な調査しかしてなかったから何かを見落としてたのかもしれない。
Maybe, maybe. Kiana closed her eyes. For the Herrscher of the Void, perceiving space was effortless. Like taking a breath, like the beat of a heart, constantly happening so long as she is alive. Like the sense of touch or smell, only when she concentrated on it did the sense occur in her subjective consciousness. Ooh, back with the thingies. The veil covering the truth drifted to the ground. Unlike the bridge before, the more distant this space was, the more complex it became on a higher dimension, like turning gears meshed together. It was not only difficult to picture the space or locate a single gear, but also painful as the senses were crushing the mind back and forth. That sounds terrible. But she refused to quit. After all, her friends were counting on her. Kiana, man, she's just, I don't care, let's just go on. With this thought in mind, she opened the portal once more. However, the world seemed to mock her efforts. On the other end of the portal was not the end, but the past. She tried several times, each time changing the position of the doorway and the landing point, but the results were still unsatisfactory.
もう一度やってみるよ。
Kiana just stopped at one point. Something's going on here. Did we do it?
少し休みましょう。
Yeah.
でも
It's okay. It's okay. Just take a break.
分かった。
キアナ、すみません。キアナが頑張ってる間、ブローニャはずっと考えていました。
What's the
そしてき
conclusion?
っと、キアナに問題があるのではなく、 ブローニャの推測に間違い
It's
があっ
not
た
your
のでしょう。
problem. Like something or someone is preventing this, right?
ですが、キアナが頑張ってくれたおかげで、ブローニャはこうして短時間で可能性のある
That's so nice.
真実を理解できました。おそらく迷宮ではなく、ブローニャたちに
It's
異
not
変
the
が起きて
maze
いるん
that's
です。
changing, but
もっ
us.
と正確に言うと、ブローニャたちの頭上には移動する特殊な
There's
力場が
likely
あ
a
るのかもしれ
special
ません。
force field above us that's following
そ
us.
の特殊な
Okay.
力場があるからこそ、キアナの空間能力を迷宮の外に展開させられないのでしょう。
力場
Hmm.
どういう意味なの？
Yeah, same, Kiana.
今のブローニャの話し方は確かにストレートではありませんでしたね。
Mm.
そうですね。電磁波みたいなものです。メイ姉さんなら電磁波が真空でも伝
An
わる原理をよく知ってい
electromagnetic
ますよね。
wave. May, you should know why it can travel through vacuum.
ええ、
Vacuum?
変化する電波から変化する磁場が生まれ、変化する磁場からまた変化する電波が生まれる。
Electromagnetic
電磁波
waves
はそうやっ
continue
て
to travel to
永遠と電
infinity.
動し続けられる。
Bro, how smart do you have to be to know all of this? Like, do they get special education? Because I feel like they were just in school. Like, how do you know about this stuff on a casual basis? Because I feel like I don't know these things, or maybe they don't teach it in school where I was. I don't know, man.
つまり私たちのいる空間も電磁波のように自身の力で無限に展開
The
できるというこ
space
とですか。
beneath us.
しかしその場合、一つだけの有限で閉鎖的なループにはならないはずです
It
が。
shouldn't really form a limited closed
Hi.
loop, sure.
確かに説明が難しい現象です。自発的に曲がる力場は普通、安定した空間にはなりません。量子の海にある世界の泡みたいに、
But
異
in
な
a
るタイ
bubble
プの
universe,
力
in
が
this you
互いに
want that
作用
different
し合うよう
forces
な
are
状況なら
interacting.
話は別ですが、
Okay, so this is a different space then?
互いに作用し合う対極図みたいな感じかな。
はい。
天の道を立て、陰と陽とのたまう。地の道を立て、柔と剛とのたまう。人の
All
道を
things
立て、
exist because of two
仁と義と
conflicting
のたまう。
forces.
互
Yeah,
いに均
yeah.
衡する二つの力があり、
二つの力。
But what's the conflicting force for this space?
何か思いついたの？
ええ。全く違う二つの力が混ざり合うなら、もしかしたら新たな均衡が生まれるかもしれません。
No, forget it. Say it. My brain is
Yeah.
not able to keep up, so
何でもありません。
just say it.
どうやら私の推測も案外辻褄が合うみたいだね。
Was just an accident.
少なくとも律者と性根覚醒者の間にそういう引用のような関係が存
Asha
在
and
するか
Stigma
どうかを
awakened.
検
Okay.
証するべきだと思います。
それって、私たちのメンバー構成が自分たちを閉じ込める原因になってたっていうことかしら。
あくまで一つの推測です。ですが、検証するのに対してコス
That
トは
is
かかりません。
smart. I
そうですよ
could
ね。
have never figured out
Bronya-san.
that. Wow.
確かに。その仮説に合うように手分けして行動すれば、簡単に
Okay.
検証できるはずです。
So now we are forced to split up.
では、やってみますか。
問題ないよ。ずっとここに閉じ込められたままでいるよりマシだし。
True, true, true.
ええ。じゃあ、私はデュランダルと組むから、あんたたちは3人で。
Yeah,
それ
makes
ぞれ
sense
違う
because
方
you
向
are
に
both
進んでみよう。
stigma awakened, I guess.
でも、その後はどんな方法で連絡したらいいのかしら。
Can we not contact Durandal?
ここの空間の変化に一定の法則がないなら、私が雷の律者の力を使って二人に呼びかけた方がいいかしら。
確かにそれも一つの方法ですが、キアナさん、これを。
What is it?
これは私たちがカロスタンで使った原油。
はい。どんな状況でも
The genius.
大体はこれを使えばお互いの位置がわかります。メイ
Okay.
さんの手段も加えれば、
では、
Good, good.
実験を始めましょうか。
やってみましょう。
Okay. Okay, but I feel like now is a good point to stop. I know we didn't come that far, but I feel like my brain is slowly deciding not to function anymore with like all this stuff. It's also like very hot, guys, so sorry if these parts are a little bit shorter now, but yeah, we are just going on in the next part. I'm really curious to figure out who the voice was who was talking to Kevin. It was a woman, of course, but I'm not sure if we have heard this voice before. I don't know if Jackal is still around, but I don't think that was Jackal's voice, right? So it must have been someone who is familiar to Kevin. It also wasn't Raven. I don't know. It was hard to like... It wasn't Senti as well, right? Because I thought it was Senti, but Senti has also a very recognizable voice since she was part, like, in the last part. So, I don't know, but very nice part. We will continue in the next part with this, like, weird maze and everything, and man, my brain is exploding, but it was fun. It was really fun. It was really emotional again. I don't expect, like... I don't even know why I didn't expect that these like chapters were emotional. I always like think of how the chapters used to be when you like start into new chapters, but now is the conclusion. Of course, we are going right full force, and there is like a bunch of stuff happening, you know, like massive showdowns from the beginning, like revelations, of course, because this is supposed to be the end of part 1, right? So everything is coming to a conclusion in these chapters. So I don't know why I thought we always like enter a little bit softer, but I really enjoy that, you know. It keeps like the attention span going, which is slowly declining at some times. But anyways, guys, that's it for today's part. I hope you had fun. I hope you are excited for me to go on. I am. As always, guys, and thank you so much for watching and for stopping by. And I hope to see you in the next part. Bye.